Hi, this is Carl the Cobra Frutch, and you're watching Lights Out.
This is Faisal for Lights Out, proudly sponsored by Spartans Law, and with me via Zoom, I'm delighted to be joined by undefeated professional boxer Gully Powar. Gully, first of all, good afternoon. Thank you very much for taking your time out to speak to us. How are you doing?
Yeah, man, I just want to say thank you for having me on. You know what I mean? I appreciate the opportunity also. Um, yeah, man, I'm just ready to talk about my journey in the sport of boxing and where I want to go to from here. You know what I mean? So, yeah, man, I'm ready to rock and roll. You know what I'm saying?
Well, we appreciate you coming on our platform. Obviously, we've never interviewed you before, so let's just talk a bit about yourself. What is it that got you into boxing, and talk to us about how your career's been currently going so far.
Yeah, man. So, like, obviously, I'm currently 20 years old right now. I've been boxing since I was 9 years old. Um, Obviously, I mentioned a couple of other interviews. My dad put me in boxing at a young age because I was very hyper, and obviously the area I come from, it was a bit like, it was a bit, you could go down the wrong path. You know what I'm saying? And obviously, my dad put me in boxing from a young age, pushed me to keep going. Obviously, at first, like I always say, I didn't really like it at first because it's just like another hobby to the young people. To any young person that goes into boxing. Obviously, either you enjoy it first or you don't. Obviously, I didn't enjoy it first, but then when I started to get into the mix of things and started to enjoy the training, the sparring and stuff, obviously as the months went on, I enjoyed it after like I had my first skills bout. And it was just from there, my career's just been going up and up and up. And, I managed to have my first skills bout in the first 6 months and I did really well in it. And, after that, I've just always fought every single year, every season. I've never took time out of boxing. I've always stayed focused, and that's what we remain to do. So yeah, man, it was my dad that mainly put me in boxing, and he pushed me to be the fighter I am today. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man.
Well, currently 3-0, undefeated, so you're heading on the right path, and I believe you'll be fighting again on April 28th. So,
Yeah,
you've been active, you fought a couple of weeks ago, is it? Am I right?
yeah. So I only think of, well, if I know, 6 weeks ago, no, 6 to 5 weeks ago, I'd say something like that. 5 weeks ago, I'd say. Yeah, I'd say 5 weeks. I literally just fought recently, and I fought on Fight Zone, which is an up and coming big platform. Great opportunity, obviously, because I'm young as well. I've got the experience of being under the cameras, and obviously, it was live streamed on BBC as well. It was just a really good opportunity for where I got to. Um, yeah, man, I really enjoyed it. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, I love fighting. I'm relentless, and that's my name. And if you ever watch my fights, you'll see the way I am. Like, I look up to the old greats like Roberto Duran and, flipping Barrera, Canelo Alvarez, current champion now. I love the Mexican style. That is my style. You know what I mean? I don't really like to hold or nothing. I like to stay clean fighting, and I love the body shots. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, it's just like one of them things where, it's just all about the mindset in it, you know what I mean? So yeah, man, my career's going well so far, and I'm ready to fight on 28th and make another big statement, you know what I mean? Just another stepping stone to greatness, you know what I mean?
You've been in boxing since a very young age, and you've been a professional for a little while now. And what has the sport of boxing told you, and what has it given back to you as well within the short space of time that you've been a professional?
It saved me, I would say. Personally, boxing saved me because I was always like, there's always two routes you can either go to. You can go towards like the university route as a young Asian person, you know what I'm saying? I could either gone into education, which that was never me, personality wise, was never me either. I never really liked to study or nothing like that. I read books, but I didn't like to like go further into it and do assignments and stuff. Or I did boxing, and obviously my dad's passion was also boxing as well. So we kind of came to an agreement that we just stick to boxing. And obviously, I was more of like an athletic person, where I'm like more of a hands-on type of physical. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I always wanted to do. I enjoyed fighting. You know what I mean? Obviously, after I was about 12 years old, but I would say after I was about 11 years old, I just loved fighting after that. So we could see the passion was going far. We could see that my ambition was getting stronger and stronger every day. And it's led me to be here right now. So obviously I never went through the path of going towards that educational route. I went towards boxing, you know what I mean? And that's been my life ever since. And, like I said, the area I come from, I think there's two, you can either get out the area one way, or you can get out the area in a different way. And I chose sports. I chose boxing, and boxing is my life. I study it every day. I always focus, and I just remain focused all the time, and that's what I would do. You know what I mean? So, it's just one of them ones.
But speaking to you, you sound like, it sounds like boxing definitely, has taught you a lot in terms of, growing up as a young man. Where you're from, would you say that there's ever been times where maybe I don't know, maybe you feared for your life, or maybe you were to sort of taking the wrong path in life? But because I'll get that kind of vibe talking to you that boxing has definitely shown you a different way of life.
Yeah, so like obviously a lot of my friends that I grew up with, that most of them are in jail right now, or going through the system and stuff. And I was the one of the few that didn't, because I didn't choose that lifestyle. Obviously, I was around it, but that doesn't mean I made the. Obviously everyone makes wrong decisions and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like, we went through some wrong phases and stuff, but that's just what a young person does in general. But the route that I chose was just going towards the right path in boxing. And obviously, I use all my anger, my energy, anything I have towards boxing, because that's what I've got, you know what I'm saying? So boxing's a sport that has done a lot for me, you know what I mean? And like I say, it saved me as a person as well. And I've always been a hyper person anyway. Like, I train all the time. I train like Mayweather. I literally read his book. I watched his training routines. I do literally run every single morning, the same way he did. Um, I train throughout the middle of the day. I train in the night. I watch boxing. I study it. I watch Inoue, all them guys. Put it all into one style, and that makes me. You know what I mean? So I use different attributes from every single fighter. So yeah, boxing's a massive part of me, and it's definitely got me to where I need to be today, and I appreciate it. You know what I mean?
Well, 3-0. It's well, you're hoping it's going to be a big year for you. As we mentioned, you're out in a few weeks again, looking to go 4-0. What's the sort of main targets this year in 2023? I mean, can we perhaps be looking at maybe a Midlands area title, or is it just to sort of, build your record up and keep on progressing, and perhaps maybe even getting a couple of more rounds as experience?
Yeah, man. So obviously, what I'm looking to do now is just keep learning on the job. Obviously, I'm still young. I've got a lot of time in the sport of boxing. I'm going to keep learning, get better every single fight. Obviously, potential title opportunities, whatever promotion comes up towards me, we'll take the opportunity. We'll go for the right ones. You know what I'm saying? And I know I'm definitely going to get to the big stages, because that's what I'm heading. That's where my ambitions are. You know what I mean? And the way I fight is very exciting. I've got good razzmatazz when I come into the ring with the drums and stuff like that. And a lot of the Asian community do love it. So like that's something big on our behalf as well. We're just gonna keep making statements every single fight. Obviously, I'm doing this last one for four rounder, which is my fourth one, and then after that we're moving up to the 6 rounders. And obviously, I've already sparred the top guys like Liam Davis, Brad Foster. I've sparred all them guys already. Kane Baker, that was recently on the zone. I sparred Conor Walker I've sparred everyone around here, and I've met a lot of big fighters and stuff, and they've given me good props. I sparred Adam Azim as well, last year, just before my championships. And there was Shane McGuigan and Barry McGuigan was giving me props and saying that I've got really good potential. So like, I know where I'm leading to, I know where I'm going towards, and we're just gonna keep targeting where we need to go. But I take every fight a step at a time. So I focus on one fight, then focus on the one after. And my main focus right now is fighting on the 28th, fighting on that show, making a big statement. Then we go on to the next. And I just want to be as busy as possible. You know what I'm saying? So definitely, I just want to stay busy. I want to stay focused on each fight. I'm just going to keep training hard. So yeah.
One thing that I like to speak to about fighters, especially fighters at the stage of their career that you're in right now, sort of like the early stages, is that I mean, how quickly they would like to sort of push themselves. A lot of people sort of like to maybe have 8 to 12 fights before they look at the English or the British title. But what's the case with you? Because as you mentioned, you're a very, and I even get the vibe from you speaking to you, a very quick person. You say you're very hyperactive. You're constantly training. Which is a good thing. So, I mean, what do you want to be doing with yourself in the next sort of 18 months? Do you reckon that if it comes down to your choice personally, you'll be pushing yourself as quick as you can towards a British title?
Yeah, so like obviously, like I said, I've already sparred like Liam Davis, which is like the current British and European champion, and he's obviously the top guy in the division. I did really well against him. You know what I'm saying? We sparred twice and that, so he's a good fighter. You know what I mean? He's a top level fighter, and what I did in sparring shows what level I'm at such a young age. You know what I'm saying? So obviously, I am definitely aiming for the British title, and I definitely think I'll get it in the next 12 months. That's my aim. But like, at the same time, I know it's gonna come around real soon anyway. You know what I mean? They know what I'm about. The division knows what I'm capable of. They're all watching, you know what I mean? But I'm coming for all of them, and they know that. So it's just one of them things where I'm just going to take my time, keep coming forward, keep winning the fights. Whatever opportunity comes my way, we'll take it, man. I'm not ducking nobody in the division, you know what I mean? If they make me fight one of the top guys at the age of 21, I'll take that fight and I'll win. You know what I mean? I've got the mentality of a winner. I'm educated on this sport of boxing, you know what I mean? I know how to work my way around things. I know how to fight. I know how to talk. You know what I mean? I've got everything in my plate to be a really good fighter. Well, not even be a good fighter. I've got everything in my plate outside the boxing ring as well. So, it's just all about you just got to be just educated on what you do, really. And I've got everything. So I'm ready for all of it, man. I'm ready for all the smoke.
Gully, we're just literally a few days away from probably the biggest fight of the year so far between Gervota Tank Davis and Ryan Garcia. A fight everybody's looking forward to, and it's a fight that we really need right now in boxing. Two undefeated, world-class fighters hoping to become elite fighters at some point. Break it down for me. What do you see happening when these two get in the ring on Saturday night?
So obviously Tank's my guy. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna. He's someone that I look up to heavily, man. Tank is he's just a real deal. He reminds me of the old school fighters when he comes out. His mentality, don't overthink. You know what I mean? I really look up to that mindset because I'm similar to that as well. I don't overthink anything. I just do what I have to do. I'm saying Tank will definitely take him out in 7 rounds. I think Ryan Garcia will start off fast. He will land some good shots in him, as they all do. Leo Santa Cruz did it. Barrios did it. They all do it. But then when Tank catches you, it's game over. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying Ryan Garcia ain't got the power to kind of stop Tank or hurt him or make him phased or anything. But Tank is just one of them fighters that, if he lands, and you're gonna feel it. And I think every fight has shown that. You know what I mean? When he fought Barrios, Barrios was winning probably more rounds until the point where he got dropped twice, came back, won a couple of rounds. Then whenever Tank feels like finishing the fight, he does. You know what I'm saying? So he's got that mindset. Same with Santa Cruz. Santa Cruz is landing good shots, but it's only a matter of time until Gervonta came out with that vicious uppercut and just stopped him. You know what I'm saying? And same with Gamboa. Gamboa was 38 or something like that. But it's just the mindset of Tank, man. Tank's got the mindset, and I'm not saying Ryan Garcia ain't got a strong mindset, but there's just levels, and I think Gervonta's he's just like a next level fighter. When I think about him, as a fighter, he's like the top guy, near the face of boxing. Obviously, I'd say Canelo's the face of boxing, but Gervonta's definitely up there. And people might disagree because he ain't been undisputed like Devin Haney or won 2 world titles like Shakur Stevenson. But when you're talking about Tank Davis, you're talking about serious. You know what I mean? The guy's serious, man. How many people would want to fight Isaac Pitbull Cruz? You know what I'm saying? That's how I think of it. You know what I mean? And he took that fight. And he wasn't even prepared for that fight. He was preparing for Romero. So it's one of them ones, isn't it? I think Tank's gonna finish him in 7 rounds. And if he doesn't stop him in 7 rounds, he'll definitely stop him in the later rounds, probably I'd say 10th or 11th round. And I think he'll be an uppercut as well. I think he'll give him a vicious uppercut like he did with Pedraza. Game over.
Well, it's a fight we're really, really looking forward to, and it can't come soon. It can't come quick enough. There's definitely been going to be an exciting fight. We hope it's going to be full of fireworks. Gully, where can the viewers find you on social media, and just relay a message out to the rest of the boxing world and your fans, and what can we expect to see from you throughout the rest of 2020?
Yeah, man. I just want to say thank you for obviously you having me on here as well. I appreciate that for real. And just shout out to everyone that's been supporting me on the come up. You know what I mean? I'm still young. I'm still coming up on the rise. The whole world's going to shake when I come on the scene, and I'm ready to put my statements out there. But I just remain level-headed and humble. I'm just going to come and deal with the business. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, shout out to all my sponsors that be supporting me. Shout out to everyone. Follow me on Instagram, Gully Boxer. Follow, add me on Facebook. Do what you got to do. It's all the same. You know what I mean? Yeah, man.
Top man, listen, I've really enjoyed speaking to you. Hopefully, at some point, bump into you in Birmingham, do a face-to-face interview with you. Because you definitely, you know what, you remind me of myself when I was a lot younger. You're full of energy, and I really like what you bring. So it's exciting times for boxing. But thank you very much for your time. We wish you the best of luck for your next fight, and we hope to speak to you soon.
Nice one, thank you.
Gully Powar, thank you very much for talking to Lights Out.